A large protest took place at Freedom Park in Bengaluru against the Waqf Amendment Act 2025, which was passed in Parliament last week. The protest was led by Hum Samvidhan Ke Log, a collective of youth, professionals, and civil society members who expressed strong opposition to the new law. Protesters said that the amendment transferred administrative control of Waqf properties such as mosques, madrasas, and graveyards from community-run Waqf Boards to government-appointed designated officers, which they believed stripped the Muslim community of its constitutional and religious autonomy. Participants voiced concern that the inclusion of non-Muslim members in Waqf Boards, something that's not required in Hindu, Sikh, or Christian boards, was a discriminatory move. They also stated that the removal of Waqf by user clause would jeopardize historic religious properties that lack formal documentation. They further pointed out that restricting the declaration of Waqf to Muslims who had practiced for at least 5 years created an arbitrary barrier absent in the governance of other religious endowments. Protesters alleged that the act gave the government unchecked powers to seize Waqf lands that were under dispute, a move they claimed violated several fundamental rights under the Indian Constitution, such as Article 14, which is equality before law, Article 15, that is no discrimination on religion, Article 25, which is the freedom to practice religion, Article 26, that is freedom to manage religious affairs, and Article 29, that is the right to conserve culture. Activists said that the central government's justification for the bill, stating that ordinary Muslims supported it, was misleading and intended to undermine the widespread opposition that had been seen across the country. They pointed out that state assemblies in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana had already rejected the legislation and mentioned similar protests that had erupted in Ahmedabad, Kolkata, and Chennai. While some protesters acknowledged that reform was necessary to address corruption within Waqf management, they argued that replacing community oversight with direct state control was not the solution. They believed the move undermined the community's right to manage its religious affairs and eroded trust in democratic processes. Protesters accused the government of pushing the bill under the influence of misinformation and communal propaganda. They referred to statements made in Parliament alleging that Waqf bodies had claimed properties such as Parliament House and Delhi Airport as baseless and inflammatory. They emphasized that the Act, if allowed to stand, could set a dangerous precedent for interference in the religious and cultural affairs of other minority communities, including Buddhists, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, and Parsis. The protest concluded with a strong collective pledge to continue resisting the legislation through democratic and legal means, with citizens asserting that they would not back down until the law was repealed.
We are going to Supreme Court, we are questioning this, and we are putting a petition against this act. So we are gathered here to register our protest against this unconstitutional bill and anti-Muslim bill and anti-secular bill.
Manshā-e-Waqf जो बोलते हैं is for a cause. The government or somebody X or somebody Y, okay, cannot be a dictate what has to happen on that property or how it has to be thing. And the people who are maintaining this, the mutwalis, many a times there is corruption. It is human psyche when where there is power, where there is money, corruption हो जाता है. So there is a lot of corruption. A lot of cleaning has to be done. That process is welcome. That process of cleanliness is cleaning is welcome. Okay. There has to be a deliberation. There has to be a methodology designed how they will clean up the whole system thing. There are so many Waqf properties. Okay. Wherever there is the shortcomings, that has to be cleaned up. There is no denying on that. There is absolutely no denying on that. And the money of the Waqf, which generates or whatever, okay, should be used for the purpose for which that Waqf was initiated.
Community के लिए beneficial है. जिस लेवल पे होना चाहिए गालिबन उस लेवल पे नहीं होगा, मगर आज भी जो है ना beneficial है. अगर आप देखेंगे जो हज़ारों की तादाद में जो मसाजिदों का मेंटेनेंस होता है, कब्रस्तानों का मेंटेनेंस होता है, ठीक है, ये सारा औक़ाफ़ की जायदादों की आमदनी से ही होता है और ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल ज़ाया हो रही है। यकीनन ये ऑप्टिमल यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं है, मगर मुझे यकीन है कि आने वाले वक्तों में ऐसे इक़दाम उठाए जा सकते हैं जहाँ पे इनका ऑप्टिमल यूटिलाइजेशन हो सकता है। मगर इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम एक गैर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बिल को सपोर्ट करें। ये सीधा सीधा हिंदुस्तान के ऐन पे मुदाखलत है, ठीक है, जबकि हिंदुस्तान के ऐन मुसलमानों को आर्टिकल 26 के तहत अपने मसाजिद, अपने मदारस, अपने तालीमी इदारे कायम कर कर उनको चलाने की इजाज़त देता है। ये हुकूमत कौन होती है कि ये ऐसा कानून लाए जिसमें जो है ना एक बिल्कुल डिवाइसिव एजेंडा है।